One of the most important things when germinating seeds is heat. Unfortunately, heated propagators, especially good quality ones, can be quite expensive. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a cost-effective and versatile alternative. One of my favorite heated propagators is the Stewart variable heat propagator. I like this thing so much that I ended up buying a second one, and I've been using them successfully for a number of years. They come with a built-in thermostat that can take you up to 28 degrees Celsius, which is perfect for chili seeds. It has around 50 watts in the base, which is able to raise the temperature about 10 degrees Celsius above ambient. And that's pretty impressive for a propagator. The problem is it is not cheap. Now, if you don't have the time or the inclination to build what I'm going to be building today, then I can wholeheartedly recommend one of these. If you have the money, it is definitely a fantastic propagator, but I need a lot more space and I'm not willing to spend the sort of money that these go for. So I'm going to show you a much cheaper alternative that I think is going to be able to scale up quite nicely. For less than the price of one Stewart variable heated propagator, we're able to build a propagation station that's heated that can take twice the number of seed trays. Now, some of the components I'm using, you can find different pricing out there. This is a bit of a premium thermostat. You can very easily use one of these, which is about half the price of that. I actually have a few of these that I use inside the potting shed right now, and they do a fantastic job. But this came with the cable, so there you go. Talking of the cable, this is 6 meters of heated cable. It is 50 watts of power, and the reason I got that size is because of the size of my tub. If you're using a bigger tub, obviously you use more cable. The tub is 1 meter by half a meter, so 1 meter in length, half a meter in width, and about 12 centimeters in height. Bear in mind, this is going to be really heavy by the end of this project, so wherever you're setting it, make sure that it has enough support. This here is not going to be good enough. I need to put a support beam in the middle, and that's what I have cut over there. You are going to need some insulation. The cheapest way to do it is polystyrene. You can put that at the base. Just a thin layer is fine. You just want to keep the cold that's underneath from affecting things that are above it. I'm going to be using vermiculite. Vermiculite has a fantastic property of being a great insulator. It's actually used in a lot of pizza ovens. Now, all I've done is I've taken a bunch of my vermiculite that I normally would use in the garden, and I put it into a vacuum seal bag and sealed it up. I had to make 2 of those, so there we go. And that will be our insulating layer. We're going to need to get this cable through the wall of this container, so I'm going to need to drill a small hole there. We're going to use a grommet to hold that in place, and hopefully it fits. I have had a look here. This is going to be a bit of a problem, but I think I have a plan. This requires a 22 mil hole, and the easiest way to do it is just use one of these bits. I need to make sure that the hole comes just above where the insulating layer is. So if you had polystyrene in here, depending on how high you had it, just make sure that the hole is just above it, and that'll be perfect. So we'll stick it right there. Need to just find my 22 mil on there. There it is. There we go. Now, typically when you use these type of grommets, they go in from the outside, and that will just tighten on over there. The problem is we can't really do that with this cable. Because we have a plug on one end, so I haven't tangled this up, but because we've got a plug on one end, I obviously can't get this over there. So we're going to have to feed things through from this end, and that goes through just fine. The other problem is I can't get it over that, so it's going to be a tight fit. So what we're going to have to do is, this is going to feed in from the outside. We're going to have to feed that through first, because we're going to be putting this on the inside rather than the outside. So we're going to feed that through. Okay, and then on this side, we're going to have to slot this through. Now the problem is there's a little rubber ring in there, so I'm going to have to probably take that out. Let's see how it goes. Okay. That is a very tight fit, and as you can see, that little rubber ring comes out. There we go. We just need to tighten this on here, and that'll look nice and neat. When making these types of tables, one of the challenges you have is trying to keep the sand wet. So my solution here is I've mixed sand with some vermiculite. So that's another great property about vermiculite. Not only is it a great insulator, but it also absorbs a heck of a lot of water. So it'll help keep this sand moist, which allows it then to transfer the heat where it needs to be and also store the heat. So this is getting quite heavy now, and it's going to be even heavier when I add some water. And I just hope my table can hold it. I think it should be all right, but we will see in just a moment. One of the big benefits of this, besides having a lot more space to work with, is that you can use really cheap propagation trays like this. I mean, this is flimsy as hell, but it'll do perfectly fine in here. You embed it down. You can also get something a little bit more expensive, but not a lot. This here is £6. This is a Stewart propagator. It's not heated, of course, but it's perfectly fine as well. And that can go in there, bed it down, and that's going to be heated up from the bottom as well. And we can keep on adding as many trays as we want. I'm kind of tempted to get a few more of these because at £6, that is really good quality. You do still need a humidity dome, of course. I guess a next step on this project is maybe creating a dome so that you don't need to have individual ones. That could be an interesting project. But for now, I think this is going to work just fine. All that's left to do now is actually test how effective this solution is. We've got to plug in our heating cable into our thermostat, and we'll monitor the temperature and see how quickly it can bring the temperature up, and see also where the temperature settles. I'm going to put the probe just here, just under the soil, and we'll put the tray on top so it doesn't go anywhere. So we can see the temperature inside there is 10.9 degrees Celsius. And let's plug in this cable and see how quickly that temperature rises. Actually 10.8 degrees. Not very warm in here today. I could not be happier with the result. This is just mind-blowing to me. Have a look at this. 34.2 degrees Celsius. Bear in mind the ambient temperature inside the potting shed is 17 degrees Celsius, and that means that this has been able to get more than 17 degrees above ambient. I have got plans to make an even bigger system. I've already bought the cable for it, so I've got 13 meters of heating cable here. Probably will do something in the greenhouse with that. I'm still deciding how that goes. I will be planting my seeds very soon, so if you want to see this guy in action and see how it performs, then make sure that you are subscribed down below and click that bell icon so it alerts you to all my new videos. If you have any questions about anything that I've shown you today in this video, if you want me to explain something a bit better, or if there's something that I missed out, ask down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Until the next time, thank you so much for watching and stay spicy.